Dun, dun, da, dee, da, 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 da. Hello, hello, welcome. Yes, I have been wrestling with cathedral windows. Oh my God, I thought, yeah, okay, it's a little hand sewing. I like hand sewing, no big deal. Cathedral windows is a big deal. One of the things that I found very frustrating was these corners that you have to tack down. Well, first of all, I discovered I don't have to tack them down. Everybody says to tack these corners together. And I was very disappointed in my messy joints. Here's an example of a messy joint. You see how, if I hold it still, it'll focus. You see how you can see all the threads? And every place where I was putting in my window, I could see all these threads, and it looked sloppy, and it just like, oh, what am I going to do? Well, the first thing I discovered was that I can make it a lot smoother. As you can see up here, this is beginning to be smoother. I still have to finish this other part. But if I don't tack them down to begin with, because they're folded over, you see, they're going to stay in place. And having them loose, I discovered, gives me more play. I can play with the fold better, more easily. But I still ended up with a messy looking join. So I went back and I looked at all the other people, the experts. I mean, there's this lady, I can't think of her name. Her channel is something like Out of Small Things. She makes a lot of quilts. She's made 3 full or king size cathedral window quilts. She knows what she's doing. But even hers, when you enlarge the screen and look real close, it's a sloppy join. The way the experts deal with the sloppy join corners, they use the soft white muslin for the backing, which of course I used this, it's good solid 100% cotton, but it's an inexpensive cotton that you can buy in Amazon. You can get like 600 in a layer cake, 600 pieces in a 10-inch layer cake for something like $25. That's pretty good. And so that's what I use for a lot of my learning experiences. And I like the back of this cathedral window makes a nice, simple patch quilt. But that's what they're doing. They're using a soft white fabric and white thread so that you don't notice the sloppy joints. It looks like there's no solution to the problem. So I said, okay, it's got to be a fix because I want to continue to use multicolored backgrounds. I have a couple of designs in my head for whenever I finish this, which will probably be next year, and I came up with a solution. Here is my solution. Can you see that? Embroider a buttonhole circle around the sloppy join, and by the time I'm done, I think, well, it'll look better than the sloppy join, put it that way, but I think that it's going to look really elegant. So that's my wrestling match. It took me all afternoon to come up with this. I tried everything. I tried a little tiny yo-yo. I made an itty bitty yo-yo. It's like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's a lot more work than embroidery. I'm getting pretty good with the embroidery because I've been doing a Victorian crazy quilt. Where's that? Oh, that's right here. Whoops. Actually, I'm coming close to finish on this. This is my Victorian crazy quilt. So I'm thinking I can put blossoms of different kinds. They're different kinds of little wheel shaped stitches, and I can use them on my cathedral windows. So please let me check the chat and see, make sure there's no trolls raising the dickens down there. Oh, nobody. Okay, there's one person watching, which is probably me. No, I think I know who it is. Um, and just want to say hello. And yeah, I'll be back with more work on this. I'm going to do it in, like, this is a block of 6. So I think, hello, Jenna. Um, I think I'll do these in blocks of 12. And like I say, this is probably going to be a work in progress for the whole, all of 2026. But I don't mind, because I work on my other things and then I come to this every so often. Let's see. Jenna says she did one cathedral window as a test and turned out lovely, but I get what you mean about the joins. Yeah. Now, I think that there's different, I've been looking at experimenting with different fabrics, and the reliance on the cotton muslin might not be necessary, because I have some, I think it's cotton. I can't tell because I bought a lot of fabric that somebody had left at the Goodwill, and it's a sheer curtain material. It feels like it's cotton and not poly. It's kind of gauzy. And do I have it here? No, I don't. But I made a little window fold out of that, and it makes a really nice fold. So I'm thinking of experimenting with gauzy curtain style material for the back, for the window frames. You know, the colored part on this is the window frames, and then the window panes, of course, you can use anything. Um, but I think that the joins, probably they just have to be covered up. That might be the only solution. Okay, now Jen is going to go look for somebody that she said did a really good tutorial on it. I know I looked at an awful lot of them. Now, I skipped over the ones that are doing it on a machine because I'm doing it 100% hand done. I like the more three-dimensional. For one thing, on the line of stitching here, and I just barely, I just tack it down so that you can't see any stitching, because I like the more three-dimensional quality that you get by doing it that way. And I want to make one that's more padded, a warmer quilt. This is a coverlet, this is going to be my summer quilt if I can finish it by summer. I might be able to finish this by July or August. And then I want to make one where I put some padding. I'm going to put a small square of, because you have this background here, you can put a small square of batting in there. And then another little poof, maybe some polyfill poofiness in the window pane, and make it almost like a puff quilt. I think that would be fun to do for winter. In fact, I'm thinking about a Christmas quilt done cathedral window, using something like something dark for the window frames, but then a winter snow scene, maybe even getting a panel and cutting it up so that you can put a section of each panel into the window panes and be looking out at a winter snow scene. Yeah, they could do it. It's great. That's one of the reasons why I'm sticking with this technique and trying to learn it, because I'm really loving the embroidery. And this looks like it's going to be a good place to go with embroidery. But I'm also thinking, you know, to make to make a few of these quilts takes time. So looking for the every so often Hobby Lobby and these other fabric stores will have these beautiful, especially for Christmas. They tend to have these about 2 yards, or not even 2 yards, maybe 24 by 40 inches of a picture of some kind. So I'm thinking if I find one that looks like a nice, like a snowman, and maybe embroider a cardinal on a pine tree branch. It just looking out at a scene and using some kind of blue for the sky, whether and it could be a night scene. Oh, it could be a nativity scene. Do a night scene by putting in some navy blue. And I was looking in Amazon. They have some night sky fabrics that have like sparkly stars on them. And embroider the Star of Bethlehem and embroider the three kings and their camels underneath. Oh, that's an idea too for a Christmas quilt. Oh, there's 1,000 things. Once you get going with this cathedral window, and it's actually not that hard. I'm struggling with it because I'm still learning. But in reality, once you get the technique of folding these things, you can do a whole bunch of them in an afternoon and just stack them up somewhere, and then pull them out 2 or 3 at a time and sew them in. And it doesn't actually take that long. If you work on it a little bit every day, you should be able to easily do one in a few months. Yeah. She says, I got you. I like the look of the machine line, but the invisible seam looks really nice. You could embroider something. Come back. Here goes the chat. You could embroider something fun. And you could do a moon in one of them, and maybe small oh, you know what? You could also do a really great Halloween scene with some moonlight and a silhouetted fuzzy black cat and a pumpkin. Oh gosh. Yeah, and oh, there's another idea. Okay, wow, we're having ourselves a brainstorm here. Picture this. You know how the Manx log cabin square is done? It's just like the regular log cabin, except they do a folding technique that gives you layers and layers around your little red spot, right? Which means that a Manx style log cabin block would be about the same weight for fabric as a cathedral window block, because this has about 4 or 5 layers. By the time you're done with all the folding and sewing, it's a lot of layers of fabric. So if you do a Manx log cabin and line them up all around and do the cathedral window like a real window set into the building, the Manx style folded fabrics would look like a clapboard, like one of those little wooden country churches with the clapboard sides. And then you can have a black framed cathedral window. And you could have the snow outside and embroider a tree outside in the snow. And you're looking into the church and you see the choir and the Christmas decorations inside the church. That's another idea to do with it. Or almost anything. You could do anything. You could do the log cabins in browns and make it look like a country cabin. Oh, I've got about 10 cathedral window quilts in my head right now. Well, thank you, Jenna, for showing up. I'm glad you sparked a few ideas, and now I've just got to finish the one I'm on. And I'm going to take off too because it's supper time and my fingers are tired. And I do want to finish this block by this evening. And I actually have some more work I have to do on another quilt that I didn't get to yet. So I'll catch y'all later. Keep on stitching. Just quit your bitching and keep on stitching. Denise Smeto, over and out. Let's see.